Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. I'm photographer and cinematographer Drew Geraci. Today we're talking about one of the coolest things I've used in a long time, and that's a brand new magnetic filter system from Kase. And this one today we're looking at is the 5-stop, or 2 to 5 stop I should say, ND filter. It's a variable ND, it is magnetic in nature, and it's really, really good. I absolutely love this thing. Kase did send this to me to try out and test. I've been using it for the last month or so, and I gotta say I'm pretty impressed with it. There's a lot of things when it comes to filter technology that doesn't usually impress me, but this one definitely does. One of the greatest features about this is the fact that you literally just have to leave on the magnetic filter, which is right here, and you simply just put it here, and it's done. That's simple. I think a lot of the comments that I've been getting when I first touted that I was using this new system was that people were kind of afraid, like, oh, it's gonna fall off during transit, or it's gonna get knocked off if you bump into something. And I'm gonna tell you what, I use this out in the field, and it takes a lot to get it off. I mean, you can literally throw it around. Look at the sound effects, look at that. This filter's not going anywhere. It actually does require a little bit of force to remove it, so it really has a really nice, strong magnetic connection, and I think that's really, really great. One of the things that I think makes this really unique is the fact that you can just buy maybe 2 or 3 different magnetic ring attachments, and you can put them on a multitude of lenses. You can still use your lens caps on top of those, and literally you can just transfer this. I'm using the 16 to 35 here, but you could take this, throw this on a 24mm 1.4, or you could even put this on like the 7200. But what's great about it is that it's just so versatile. In my line of work, especially when it comes to time-lapse and for video, having a variable ND such as this, which is 2 to 5 stops, really allows you to transition from
bright exposures down to dark exposures.
And the ND filter really is just pivotal because you don't want to have your scene blown out or overexposed, and these NDs definitely help eliminate that. Now, I took this out into the field. I did a couple side-by-side comparisons and tests for both video and photo. Here are the results.
One of the main benefits of a variable ND is that you can change the neutral density level based on your shooting situation. It allows you to film at slower shutter speeds, which helps reduce flicker, and also allows you to shoot wider open in broad daylight. With a variable ND, you can shoot at f2.8 in bright, sunny weather. With the 5-stop ND filter applied, you can see that we can drop down our shutter from 1/32 thousandths of a second down to 1/50th of a second at f2.8 without losing any image quality. This is fantastic for anyone looking to shoot video or photos when that sun is blazing. In this side-by-side comparison, you can see that the filter doesn't produce any noticeable color shift or color cast, which means you don't have to worry about color correcting for the filter when it comes to post-production. The Vnd does add a bit of contrast though, as you can see in the sky, darkening it ever so slightly, which is quite common with any circular Vnd filter. The image overall remains the same though when compared to the frame that isn't using the Vnd. In this time-lapse example, the Vnd does a great job of creating consistent Nd blockage, allowing me to film at 1/50th of a second to capture these beautiful white puffy clouds without having to sacrifice shutter speed. It also helps reduce flicker.
I'm also trying out the new variable ND Blackmist filter, which adds a nice little glow or haze to your subjects and to the object that you're using in a variable state. And this is really great too, especially if you're opting outside in very bright environments. You can stop this down to the 5-stop, and you're gonna get really beautiful highlights that are just kind of misty in their exposure, and it looks very cinematic. And if you are going for a more cinematic look, using a Blackmist filter like this is definitely the way to go. The Blackmist filter that I have is not magnetic, which means you do have to filter it on, but it's not too hard. But I will say I do wish this was a magnetic one. I'm sure they have a magnetic version coming out shortly. I know they also make a bunch of other filters that are also magnetic. I went out and bought a few myself because I know they do. And I just gotta say, I absolutely love them. I really haven't used a lot of magnetic filters in the past before, and this is the first one. I know that there are at least 2 other systems out there that use magnetics when their filters system, and I have to say that I'm really pleased with Kase. I use Kase for almost all my other filters too, for the clip-in filters as well as for the rear element filters. And honestly, the quality that the price is you get what you pay for. They're not cheap, they're not super expensive, they're like right in that little Goldilocks area. And really it's well worth the money if you are looking to invest in a new ND system. Now, if you guys have any questions about what you've seen today, please just leave them down below. I'll be happy to answer them. And as always, if you like what you saw, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Happy shooting.